Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new epic Doctor Who topic video for today. So for this video, now this was the idea thanks to another sci-fi guy. When I was watching his live stream earlier tonight, he was going through what 10 stories he basically thinks that could have updated special effects when it comes to Doctor Who The Collection range on Blu-ray. So I thought, you know what, I've got 10 Doctor Who stories I think that need special effects, but to be honest with you, some of the ones he's already said is on this list. I'm just going to dive into it. So these are the ones I think when they come out on Blu-ray in the collection range, these are the ones that are actually going to need special effects. So I'm literally just going to move the camera so you can actually see my Doctor Who The Collection range from season 2 there up to season 26, and then I'm just going to move back a bit. So, are you sitting comfortably? Good, and I shall begin. So, in 10th place, the story I think that needs the most special effects. Now, I think it should be, basically in 10th one, is Doctor Who the movie. I do have the special edition on the DVD box set in Doctor Who, the revisited one. Now, you could argue with me saying, but Paul, isn't Doctor Who the movie already released on Blu-ray? Well, yes, but it's just basically, they haven't really updated it for Blu-ray. They just kind of took the DVD one and did a few special things to release it onto Blu-ray. But for me to even say, I kind of think that we should have updated special effects. Now, one is with the TARDIS travelling through the time vortex. Imagine that pure, amazing imagery coming through proper, pure HD in the Wonderlist box set whenever that comes around, because we know that basically Lee Bindings is basically on about doing that because he was in a video interview last year talking about if they actually do get the Wonderlist box set, he's got a good idea what they want to do for the cover. Also, I kind of want them to do an up-to-date special effects on the regeneration process itself, because the regeneration, I think some people don't enjoy the movie. But I think if they update the special effects, like for Lightning, when you got the TARDIS after the 31st of December, basically New Year's Eve, where you kind of got the Lightning before it hits January the 1st, 2000, you know, because of the Master. I think the Eye of Harmony could do with some good special effects as well. Like, imagine a little bit of lightning coming out of the Eye of Harmony as well when you got the Master trying to steal the Doctor's remaining regenerations. I really think that might be interesting for them to do. So this is why I think number 10 should be basically the TV movie. I think the TV movie kind of needs more of an update version of it. In 9th place, it goes to Planet of the Spiders. Now, Planet of the Spiders, it is one of my favourite Pertwee stories. It was actually my it was actually my third John Pertwee story I ever watched with me dad, because I watched Death to the Daleks first. And this was my very first regeneration. I really think that some of the special effects for Metabilis 3 could be updated for Blu-ray. I mean, imagine Metabilis 3, it's supposed to be this beautiful planet with this kind of blue, kind of like sun that we kind of see in the Green Death. I really think this story could do with up-to-date special effects, including on the spiders. I really think the spiders could do with an up-to-date special effects when you see them coming through the kind of mat and jumping onto Lutton's back and jumping on Sarah Jane's back. And of course, I really think that the special effects need updating on the Great One, where we've got scenes in the cave between it and the third Doctor where it's there talking. So yeah, I really do think Planet of the Spiders does need a bit of an update. In 8th place, now this one could be most eventual, but I really think the case of Androsani could do with some special effects treatments, especially when you're making the TARDIS materialize on Androsani Minor. Imagine, because we kind of see like the wind blowing the kind of like sand dust all over the place. I really think that could have done with so much more special effects for the waviness of the lines where they're walking around the planet. I really think that when you get to like the gunshots as well, I really think they could do with special effects as well. And of course, the regeneration scene itself, I really think the regeneration scene would look so much better in HD. Imagine it with a little bit of a touch up for special effects. I really think this one deserves it. Basically, out of Davison's run, there's only 2 stories in this list you're going to see, and they're both from the same season. And this is, of course, is from season 21. So I really think the case of Androsani could be the second most beneficial story to have special effects. If it doesn't, I wouldn't mind, because the main Doctor Who story for special effects for Davison is a bit later on in this list. But I really think Case of Androsani could do with a little bit of touch-up on the special effects, especially when they're walking around the quarry for Androsani Minor. For, like I say, you can see a little bit of wind blowing the dust and stuff. Imagine how good that would have looked if new special effects. Number 7. Now, people would probably agree with me on this one, but Dinosaur Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Another story from season 11. So you can kind of see that I've kind of picked 2 stories from season 11 so far, and I really think that Invasion of Dinosaurs, even though I actually do quite enjoy it, my recent rewatch of it a couple of months ago, I absolutely loved rewatching this story. But again, I really think the Dinosaurs could do with so much, basically with special effects treatment for the Blu-ray. I really think it should be. It's a shame the DVD never got that special treatment, but I really think the Blu-ray should, and the Dinosaurs. It's one of the ones what I really think for Pertwee could be beneficial, because I was trying to think what stories need special little touch-ups for season 7, and I don't think season 7 actually needs any touch-ups, because I actually do like the special effects for season 7. But Invasion of the Dinosaurs, I kind of think, yeah, you know what, I think Invasion of the Dinosaurs and Planet of the Spiders is the 2 main Pertwee stories that need basically special CGI treatment updated, especially on the Dinosaurs. So yeah, I have to say that one. Number 6. Now, this one is basically a 1960 story. Now, I know some people don't want the 1960 stories to be touched, but this one, I think it could do with a little bit improving. And it is The Seeds of Death. Now, the whole CGI effects doesn't actually, like, literally updating for the DVD, for the Blu-ray, but I kind of want the Ice Warriors weapon when they go to move it, and when they kill, and you kind of have that kind of wobbly camera effect. I really think that could do with updated special effects for the Blu-ray. Same with, basically, with the Ice Warriors when season 5 comes around. But I do think for season 6, this is a story that basically kind of needs a little bit of tweaking for the special effects, especially like when you got the Ice Warriors killing and the Team Match system, and of course some of the rocket scenes as well. Yeah, but the rest of it's pretty good and decent, apart from the bubble bath kind of foam when it's leaking up and you've got Troughton going, "Oh my word!" Which is actually some good moments, but it is an iconic story and I do quite enjoy it, but I think it just needs a little bit of tweaking on the special effects, and that's just my opinion. Top 5 now. For the top 5 stories that definitely, I think, that do kind of need special effects on the Blu-ray treatment in the collection range. So for season 16, I'm going to have to say they're exactly the same as another sci-fi guy. The Pirate Planet. This is honestly my favourite story from The Key to Time. It's so ambitious, it's so funny, it's got some really great sense of humour styles. Now, the things that I really think that need a little bit of tweaking on for the special effects is when you got the mandrills and they're using the mind powers. I really think that could do some special effects treatment. I really think some of the laser of the guards when they're shooting the Doctor, where he's there going on his own, the thing going whoa like that. I really think that that scene should have a few special treatments, and of course the scene where basically the Doctor fakes his own death, really, because he's there with the machine and he literally pretends it's him, and when they hear the laughter but they don't hear the splat, and they're like, what? And the Doctor goes, hello. I really do think that scene could do with a little bit of touch-up. Imagine that the fact we could see like the wavy lines when Tom Baker actually activates the holographic 4th Doctor. I really think that would have been so much good as well for Doctor of the Collection season 16. This is the only story from basically the Key to Time season I think that needs a little bit of touch up on the special effects, but I actually do love the story. It's my favourite story from season 16, and of course it's written by one of my favourite Doctor Who writers, Douglas Adams, who also comes back to write Doctor Who, The City of Death, and of course Shada in season 17. So I really do think this story needs a little bit of touch up. Not much, there's a few little bit of touch ups here and there, and then of course it'd be absolutely perfect, and it is already perfect, but I think it could do with a little bit more, like little bit of splinting for the seasons. In fourth place, now this one, some people probably look at me like I've gone completely insane, and the next one is of course the season 25. Remembrance of the Daleks. I really think that some scenes of this story kind of needs the special effects a little bit tweaking. Like when you've got the Doctor basically smashing up the transmitter device. I think that could do with a few little special updated special effects. I really think when you go to the Hand of Omega and you see the Doctor put the baseball bat in, I really think, again, that scene could do with a little bit more special effects update. And, of course, the Dalek weaponries between the two Daleks, because this is a Dalek Civil War story. I really think, even though they do use, like, the different colours, where the Renegade Daleks use blue, where the Imperial Daleks basically use gold for the weaponry, and of course you've got the sound effects, I kind of think that the two special effects between the weaponry should be updated. Imagine having blue lasers going towards the Imperial Daleks and the Imperial Daleks using gold lasers straight into the Renegade Daleks. Imagine that scene as well. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, I think that some of the model scenes, like when you got the Dalek freighter coming from the mothership, basically landing, and of course the Davros escape pod, I think those scenes could do with a few more little tweaks for the Blu-ray. But the story itself is absolutely perfect. I really do enjoy this story. It's my second favourite McCoy story. Sorry. But I do think, yes, you know what? I really think this story could do with a little bit of touch-up for season 25 when it comes out in Doctor Who The Collection range. Because I really think if they updated the special effects weaponry on the Daleks shooting each other, that could look so much good and so much absolutely awesomeness. And Remembrance of the Daleks may become my favourite Dalek story of all time, which technically it already is, but you will have to wait and to see where this story basically is when I do my top 10 Doctor Who Dalek stories, because I'm kind of doing, for next month, I'm going to be doing a kind of a top 10 video to celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who. So I'll be doing my top 10 multi-Doctor stories through TV and, of course, Big Finish behind me. As well as that, I'll be doing, like, my 10 Dalek stories, my 10 favourite Cyberman stories, my 10 favourite Doctor stories, the stories that I think benefit for each Doctor, which are the 10 ones, which have got some iconic moments in there. So yeah, that'll be something going on in November, and of course you will see where this story lies in that video. But Remembrance of the Daleks, I just absolutely love it, but I think it does need special effects a little bit here and there, especially in the Dalek battles. Number 3. So when it comes around to my all-time favourite season to be released on Blu-ray, which is aka season 13, by the way, if nobody knows that, season 13, it is my all-time favourite Doctor Who season. And when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will be over the moon. I would absolutely be so over the moon with that one, because it is my favourite Tom Baker season. It's my favourite season out of Doctor Who in general. It's the season that I think it is an absolutely masterpiece. Every single story is amazing. I just really do love it, including the Androids Invasion. But the story I think I could do with the most special effects kind of touching up on it, Pyramids of Mars. Pyramids of Mars for season 13. Now, the rest of the season, people probably go look at me and go, why not the Terror of the Zygons? Why not Planet of Evil? Why not, you know, the Android Invasion? Why not the Brain of Mobius or the Seeds of Doom? Again, I like the original special effects for them. Yes, okay, Planet Fire could do with a little bit of tweaking, but I think the story that could benefit from that would be this story, Pyramids of Mars, because it is an iconic story. Now, this was actually my very first ever Tom Baker DVD I actually ever owned growing up. Now, I started these collecting Doctor Who DVDs a little bit in 2005, when I used to get a little bit of pocket money. My mum and dad used to give me some money. I used to go to HMV with my dad, and I used to pick up some Doctor Who stories here and there. My very first DVD was basically the Dalek Invasion of Earth, when I stopped over at my aunt and uncle's in Birmingham at Solihull, and my aunt and cousin took me into HMV, and I bought myself the Dalek Invasion of Earth, and that was my very first ever classic Doctor Who story I actually ever bought. Where Pyramids of Mars was actually my second Doctor Who DVD I actually ever bought. Now, I love the robot mummies. I don't think they need the special effects. The only things I think need special effects is when you kind of got the TARDIS traveling through time and space and it kind of gets pulled off course when it's shaking and you kind of see Sutek's face coming through the wall. I really think that needs a little bit of CGI treatment. I also think when you got the Doctor basically going through the portal to where Sutek is and you kind of got the lights, funny lines that you see on the DVD cover, I think they could do with a little bit of updating. I think they look marvellous in Blu-ray if you update it a little bit. I also think that when you kind of get Morbius, when he takes over the Doctor's mind, that could do with some basically CGI treatment updated. But the rest of it is absolutely perfect. I mean, the fact when you got the Sarah Jane basically pointing the gun at the robot pyramid where they're kind of building it to fly into Mars, that seems pretty good because, again, you just see a little bit of smoke and then it vanishes. But I do think that scene could do with some CGI treatment as well. So, yeah, that's another one I think. That's the third one to think that could do with the special treatment. Now, the second one on the list. Now, this is one of my favourite Tom Baker stories. Now, I was going to do a massive video ranking all of Tom Baker stories, all 41 of them. But that was basically a 4-hour video, and I don't really want to release a 4-hour video because I just talked about every single story because Tom Baker is my favourite Doctor. So I will be doing my top 10 Tom Baker stories, and this story is actually in one of them. So the story I think that needs kind of updating is, of course, part of Doctor Who The Collection Season 15 when that comes out. Horror of Fang Rock. Now, you're probably wondering, why would they touch this up, considering that basically the Invisible Enemy kind of has an up-to-date special effects on the DVD, same as the Invasion of Time. Well, this story, I think it could actually benefit from updated special effects, even though I think it's absolutely perfect and it's one of my stories. But when it comes out on Blu-ray, I kind of want updated special effects updated on the returns, because when you see it climbing up the lighthouse, it just kind of looks like a little blob squitchy. Imagine having updated CGI treatment on that when you kind of got the Rutan climbing up the wall. And imagine when it's like shape-shifting into the characters that it's basically killed. I really think that could do with so well as well with updated special effects. I really do enjoy the story. It's absolutely one of my favourites, but I do think it does need special effects. And this is basically the mainly Tom Baker story I think that really could benefit with the special effects, because I don't really see YouTubers talk about how good the story is. I mean, I really think the story is absolutely a masterpiece. It's one of my personal favourites for Tom. It's actually in my top 10, which you will see at some point. But I kind of think, you know what, yeah, this story does need a few little tweaks on the CGI treatment, some special treatment on the Rutan. Sorry, I nearly said Rutans. I really think the special treatment on the Rutan could actually be fantastic, and I really do enjoy it. And then, of course, number one. So the main story that I think could do with basically the special CGI updated effects. Wow. Some people probably agree with me this one. I know some people won't. But the story I think that could benefit with the most special effects for it. Resurrection of the Daleks. I do have the special edition. It is signed by Peter Davison, but it's actually in this box set in Doctor Who The Visitations 2, as you can see there. This story, I think it could benefit with so many good special effects, especially on the Dalek weaponry, the time corridor, when you kind of got the space crew of the space station where they're kind of there shooting at the Daleks when they're coming through, and they literally don't do nothing, but they literally just do the sound effects of it, that kind of like it's really bad screechy noise where they're just kind of like they're shooting but you don't see them shoot. I really think that could do with some special treatment as well. Also, I really think that when you have the kind of like this creamy liquid when it comes out of the Daleks and Davros through the Magellan virus, that could do with some special updates as well. But the story itself is absolutely perfect. I do think it does need some special effects. So that is the 10 Doctor Who stories I think that could benefit with Doctor Who updated special effects in Doctor Who The Collection range. To give you a quick recap, in number 10, I think the TV movie should have it for the Wilderness box set. Season 11, Planet of the Spiders. Again, I think some people really want this one, or Invasion of Dinosaurs. I think both could do with it in the box set. Season 21 in AKA in 8th place for the Caves of Androsani. In 7th place for Season 11 again, we have Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Season 6 in 6th place, aka the Seeds of Death. Number 5, I think for Season 16, it should definitely be the Pirate Planet to have the updated special effects. Season 25, Remembrance of the Daleks in 4th place. I really think that could do with it. Season 13, when that comes around, my favourite Tom Baker season of all time, my favourite season of Doctor Who in general. Pyramids of Mars, I really think that could do with special treatment for the special effects. Season 15, do I need to say more? Then Horror of Fang Rock, I really think the story could do with it, even though it's one of my personal favourites. And of course, the number 1 story I think that needs desperately, really needs very, very desperately for special effects treatment, Resurrection of the Daleks. So thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share and join for more awesome Doctor Who content.